Alien Earth. So, what I want to talk about is the first massive problem. Number one, it's on Earth. Number two, it's when it is. Number three, it's written by the wrong guy. Let me explain all of these points. But first, I need to briefly talk about my series of the films. In other words, what I believe is good and bad. Alien and Aliens are absolutely fantastic. The rest is dog shit. Alien 3 was hampered by not having a script, not having a direction, not having ideas, not having time, not having everything. Alien 3 was a disaster because they were trying to make a product, not trying to tell a story. Now, you can do both, right? You can make money out of a product, which is what all the producers and the distributors, the publishers, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make money out of people's good ideas. That's the important thing, the good idea. And Alien 3 was a catastrophe. Alien 4 was just, why not? Fuck it, we need to make another Alien film. Brandywine. If you look at Brandywine Productions are basically, all of their money comes from Alien. Go onto the wiki page, look at the films that they've produced. It's nearly all Alien. Actually, since Alien, I think it's pretty much been nothing but Alien. That's what Brandywine Productions have done. They have ridden that cash cow to the ends of the earth, right? Absolutely ridden it to the ends of the earth. So, the rest of the films are shit. Alien 4 is just weird. It doesn't belong, doesn't need to exist. We can just ignore that as some kind of weird fever dream. Prometheus is one of the worst films ever made. Not just as a film, not just as an Alien film, as a film. It is a terrible, terrible shit film. And was made basically by a guy who was smelling his own farts, which was Ridley Scott. I'm the guy who did Alien. Look at me come back, and everyone bows down. That's ego, not... It's misplaced ego. Ridley Scott made Alien look good. The rest of it was everybody else. Right? That's what Ridley Scott did. That's what his job is. I'm not trying to take that away from him. Shit, if I wrote an Alien film that was absolutely dynamite and had to be made, I would love Ridley Scott to direct it. Just keep that bastard away from the script. Oh, and also design elements and ideas like set design, because he hasn't got the eye for it when it comes to science fiction. So Covenant is just a follow-on disaster. It's even... I don't know if Covenant's worse, but it's just it doesn't matter. Everyone's lost interest by that point. Alien VP, comic book stuff, they're literally ripped from... The first AVP was ripped from the Dark Horse comic, which is weird that Ridley Scott said that AVP was shit and then almost followed the plot line of AVP, which I did think was quite funny. If you don't think that's true, if you think that's just a joke that Alien Theory did, no, it literally does line up. The reason why Alien Theory makes fun of it, but it literally does line up. Load of scientists in a sports hall looking at a projector or looking at different architectural sites around the world, and Peter Weyland is in the same room. You try and match up scenes in Alien and Aliens. It's almost impossible. Well, they have breakfast, and they have breakfast in it. Fucking breakfast. How many films have... All right, what has Breakfast and Tiffany got in common with Alien? And did the director of Breakfast and Tiffany mock Alien 1979? No. Ridley Scott, you're a twat. So, then we get Rhombombulus, which is just a fucking mess. Vasquez could have really done with them 450 rounds that you crammed into that tiny weapon, couldn't she? Imagine that. She might have not died in the tunnel and saved everyone. What a shame. A character killed by her own dumbness. Because we know that that stupid white dickhead weapon in Alien Rhombombulus kills aliens with its 450 rounds. Holy shit. Do you see how many she wipes out? About 1 billion, it might as well be. Even though she only had 450 rounds. It's incredible. Alien Romulus I did an entire live stream on it. Alien Rhombombulus is just junk. Ooh, I recognise thing. Ooh, I recognise that thing. Ooh, I recognise that thing. I'm having a good time. So how did you enjoy Alien then? Because there was... Actually, I don't recognise any of this. Because I haven't fucking seen it before. Actually, in fact, in Aliens, there's not much that they carry over from one thing to the other, which is also probably why it was a good sequel. Now, I am a bigger fan of Alien than I am Aliens. I think a lot of people get distracted by, ooh, cool war movie, when really it's an Aliens film. It's an Alien film, so yeah, it goes backwards and forwards. And there are one or two big problems with Aliens, but we'll go into that probably some other time. So, all the other films are shit. That's where I sit. Ron Bombulus, Alien Earth, this is where we are now. Number 1, do not put your alien on Earth. Why? Well, the problem is that then all of the threats that are in the Alien series kind of disappear. We can't let it get back home. We can't let it expose it to millions of people. We can't do this. We can't do that. You can expose it to millions of people somewhere else, just not Earth. Because when you do it Earth, it's game over. This is what the Infinity War series with the MCU had a problem with. They did the snap. They did the stones. And when you do the ultimate universe-ending bad, you can't go back from that. And that's what that's why the MCU's had to get stupid. Multiverses. And that's why everyone's lost interest in the MCU is now a shit show. So don't ever do Earth. Always keep the threat away. And if you say that restricts you, good. Because restrictions seem to help films more than they tend to hinder them. Number 2 is when. When do you do this? Well, we know that everyone likes Alien and Aliens. Aliens. So we have to put it hovering around there. Fuck it, Ron Bombulus went right in the middle of it. Let's do it a couple... So close. Let's do it so close to it. Let's just... So close. It's just like we have to make sure. That's all they're bragged about. Alien Earth happens. This in the Alien series. Why are you telling everyone? Let everyone fucking work it out. Written by the wrong guy. So Noel did Fargo. Fargo is... I haven't watched it. It seems to be really good, right? I haven't watched it myself, but I'm going to go on people I trust. They seem to think it's really good. He's won awards for it. It seems to be well written. Wonderful, right? Character work, all that kind of shit. He seems to have hit the nail on the head. He doesn't do science fiction, and I have to... Well, let's go down the science fiction route, right? It's called science fiction. Right? 2 words. They have meaning. There's another word that's not included in this called fantasy. If you want a soft or hard magic system, then we would call this Final Fantasy. We'd call it a fantasy thing. There's a space fantasy, or whatever, Star Wars. It's got this weird wobbly thing that's mixed in with a bit of adventure, a bit of sci-fi, a bit of bullshit. We can just write the script what we want. It's not science fiction. Alien was... You've got to remember, this is called Alien Earth. It's Alien. Alien. Right? It has the science fiction element. The fiction just means that it didn't happen or hasn't happened. Right? It's not real. It is made up. That doesn't mean you then... This isn't equal to fantasy. This isn't fantasy. It doesn't just one link into the other. That's not what happens. There's no magic in this, right? It's based on science fiction. If you watch all the documentaries of how it was made, when people discuss Alien and stuff like that, when there's viewings and Ridley Scott turns up and Dan O'Bannon used to before he passed away, all this kind of shit, they would say what makes the Alien scary is that it is based on things that really existed. Oh my God, do you mean science? Right? There are parasites. A spider exists. A snake exists. Facehugger. Chestburster. It's a fucking snake. It's a cobra. Alien. It's a giant ant/scorpion/killy thing. It has arms and legs that don't... It's not Stretch Armstrong. That would look goofy and weird. The alien comes across as something that could be real. It has its own life cycle. How many alien films can you think of that demonstrate their life cycle? Possibly Starship Troopers, and the arachnids in that are cool as fuck as well. It's like, wow, if we have aliens that are based on real things that we already know, then it's more believable. It's more in the sci-fi realm. The ship, they have realistic tools. They have realistic weapons. The whole point is the alien universe is lauded as its gritty reality in the future. So things have to adhere to that, this whole science fiction malarkey, which means several things have to happen. The details in the sci-fi world make sense. This is why Star Trek and Star Wars, until recently, for both of them, used to make sense, right? We are fans of the world. It's like The Expanse and stuff like that. We are fans of the world. It's the world plus the story. That is why the fiction is the story. The science bit has been put there because it's based on things that are all sci-fi, right? It's all the nerd stuff. It's all the computers. It's all the technologies. It's the photon torpedoes. It's the shields. It's the deflector dishes. It's the ray shields. It's, you know what I mean? And that's why people got a bit pissed off with midichlorians, because they were like, hang about a minute, this is getting a bit too sci-fi for my fantasy. I want the force bit to be the fantasy bit, even though there's technology everywhere. Could you really make a world like Coruscant? Who fucking knows? But it's built on sciencey concepts. Maybe you could. Well, I'll tell you what. If you kept on building on it, yeah, of course you could. It's built on those things, right? This is what we look like. The alien having acid for blood. It's a defense mechanism. That makes sense. It's not indestructible. Then, if it has an acid defense mechanism, then is it? That would be fucking retarded. So, with all that being said, the wrong guy has written sci-fi, and I can prove this. Let's talk about the Maginot. And I know it's Maginot. I've just come back from the Maginot line, so before anyone starts bashing, it's Maginot, not Maginot. It's a joke. Calm down. Calm down, sweetheart. So, the Maginot, right? Let's get this right. The Maginot set off from Earth when? In the timeline? Because timelines are part of the science bit. Time, it matters, right? Continuity matters. We are in the year 2120. A bit down the road is 2122. This is when Alien happened. Wonderful. Wonderful. All the way over here in 2179 was Aliens. Excuse me. I'm just allergic to shit shows. So, this is Alien Earth. What is the problem? What possibly could be the problem? The Maginot set off. Let me get another coloured pen. The Maginot set off 65 years ago. Sorry, what? 65 years ago? Well, that would make it, what is it, 20... Let me do the maths. 65 years ago. I hate doing... That would be 160 minus 5. 155. So, 2055. That's when the Maginot set off. The Maginot. I'm going to call it the Maginot because it's just funnier. The Maginot set off in 2055. Well, wait a minute. When was Prometheus? Now, I don't like the other films, but everyone who's a fan of Alien Earth is going, oh, that's the black goo, and oh, fucking hell, that's... Yeah, that's shite. So, when's Prometheus? Isn't it like 2099 or something? Isn't Prometheus like 2099 or something like that? I don't care, it's shite. So, in Prometheus, on Peter Whalen's science yacht, state of the art, the absolute dog's nuts, they sit in a vat of goo. When they come out of hypersleep, They're coughing up and hurling. Holloway looks like shit. Elizabeth Law looks like shit. They've got David caring for them with blankets. They look like, oh, fuck me, that's done me in. Right? That's really done me in as that hypersleep. And then, 10 years later, in Covenant, even then, they've got to put the chip packet in, they get in the pods, it's all secure, massive thick, this, that and the other. Wait a minute, but the Maginot has Nostromo. It has Nostromo sleep pods. Why? Because Noel's like, they're going to love this. It'll look exactly like Alien, that thing I'm trying to rip off, that I don't really care about, because fuck details. It just looks like it, and people will remember that. But the Nostromo was here. So are you telling me that the Maginot has better technology than Peter Whalen's state-of-the-art Prometheus? Even though the Maginot looks like shit inside, that's definitely lived in, is that kitchen. Yes, I know they've been on a 65-year mission, but it's old. It's meant to be old. So the Nostromo is old then. By this point, the Nostromo is 65 years plus, 67 years at least. And the Maginot, it was brand new state of the art when it set off. Could have been. So the Nostromo's now old as fuck, right? Just think about this. The Nostromo was designed, because you can design things in a year now. The Nostromo was designed and built in 2055 or before, because they both look like shit. They have the same kitchens. They have exactly the same corridors. They have exactly the same hypersleep pods. It's basically the fucking same ship. So the Nostromo's really fucking old, right? So the Nostromo's 70 years old, which is, okay, it's 70 years old. Let's just say it is. There's not many things that we use today that are 70 years old. Someone said a B-52. Well, no. 700 and something B-52s were built. There's only 70 left, and they're built out of the parts of the ones that didn't die, and they've been upgraded to the absolute bollocks. Everything's been changed. Everything. The entire cockpit arrangement's been changed. Everything inside the aircraft, the engines, the fucking lot. The B-52s are basically just the frame. You know, just the basically the fuselage. It's just all of the skeleton of it. And probably the skins they've been reskinned and all sorts of shit. What else do we have? You know, and you've got to remember, that's something from the Second World War era-ish to now, right? Or after the Second World War to now. We don't do that nowadays. People drive around in cars. If you drive around in a 20-year-old car, you look weird. But fuck it, who cares, eh? Because details don't matter to sci-fi fans. That's fucking stupid. Why do we have a guy who has a bionic arm and all this shit, but no one on the Nostromo does? It's a bit weird. Why have you added this thing in? This just all seems fucking stupid. There's more. There's more to do with the timeline. Wait there. State-of-the-art firepower. State of the art. What are you talking about? State-of-the-art. The pulse rifle's in bloody Alien Earth. It's 58 years later. So we've got a 58-year-old pulse rifle. Year-old pulse rifle. We've got a 58-year-old, at least, smart gun. Smart gun. State-of-the-art firepower. Are you fucking kidding me? This shit's 60 years old. Now, I know someone is also going to say, oh, they still use this weapon in the army, but that's not state-of-the-art, is it? I used to fire an SA-80. SA-80s, weirdly enough, small arms of the 1980s, they're going out of service soon from the 80s. The weapon is 40 years old, and we're getting rid of it. State-of-the-art firepower. All the Marines got is shit. Remember when you watched Aliens and you thought, oh yeah, this is great, look at them all with their all World War I weapons. Yeah, and you got to remember, in Alien Earth, these weapons have been around a while, right? They're not brand new. Or are you trying to tell me that in the Maginot, there were brand new technology sleep pods that are so much better than the Prometheus, the state-of-the-art ones that are 40 years in the future? Yeah, of course they are. Also, that all the weapons are all well in the future. but are not in the future because they're all old pieces of shit. You're ruining everything as you go along just because you've got, I recognise that. I recognise that. The canisters. This is a good one. The canisters. They have canisters on the Maginot. Get this. They are exactly the same design apart from the iris that you get on the Nostromo. Remember the iris in the vents? The stasis tubes that they put all of these specimens in, even though the hole doesn't close up at the top, because those irises, you can't fully close them. That's why they're used in air vents, because that means there's always a tiny bit of airflow through them. It doesn't matter if there's a tiny bit when you've got an air vent this big that's 1 metre squared. These tubes, they're exactly the same as they are in Hadley's... What? Wait a minute. You mean these tubes were designed before 2055, when the Maginot left Earth? Fucking what? These tubes are on Hadley's Hope. How far is that? That's 124 years in the future. 100. So these tubes are 124 years old. Now, if you go into my kitchen, there aren't tubes and Tupperware that's over 10 years old. My house isn't 124 years old. This building is probably 124 years old, and it is dated. The beams have got wood, they're rotted. No. On this ship, all these tubes were designed, and you've got to remember, they were designed exactly 2055 for them to be 124 years old. If they were designed 20 years before that, holy fuck, we're getting silly now. This is madness. This is fucking madness. Why? Why was this done? Well, you'll recognise these. Why does it look like the slate pods in a Nostromo? Because you'll recognise that. Why is the pulse rifle there? You'll recognise that. Why is the smack? You'll recognise that. All of these things are here for nostalgia baiting. I didn't remember. Why is Aliens loved so much? Why is Alien loved so much? But let's go Aliens. Most people like the kit out of Aliens. The motion trackers, the pulse rifles, the smart guns, the APCs, the dropships, all that shit. Why do people like them? Well, because they were new and it was someone's take. And oh, how cool is that? Little did James Cameron know that people, and all the people who worked in the set designs and Batsy and all the rest of them, they didn't fucking know that they would literally design the weapon that would be used for the next 1,000 years. Holy shit. Who would have thought such a thing? Why can't you make something new? Why can't you make something new? Why is it so difficult to have something that has the aesthetic of something? Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation was made by the right people. Right? By the right people. For Alien Isolation. Why? They made a motion tracker. It wasn't the Marines one, and it wasn't the one used in Alien. It's cool. The weapons they use, there's no fucking pulse rifle in that fucking game. The jack, right? The machine jack, the wrench that you use, that's never been seen in an Alien thing before. Yes, it copied the aesthetics of Alien because it was meant to be 20 years, 15 years after Alien. She goes looking for a mum. And Sevastopol Station is decaying and old. Wait a minute. Sevastopol Station is old and knackered 20 years after this, but all of this shit is fine. No, that's the answer to that question. No, that's not right. That's just not fucking right. Written by the wrong guy. If you want good science fiction, it has to be by someone who cares. If you don't believe me, look at every single version. Dan O'Bannon, Ron Suchet wrote Alien. Right? And what did they do for their student film? They made Dark Star, a science fiction. They love science fiction. When you write Dune or Star Wars or anything like that. James Cameron, look what he does. The only film that James Cameron has done that isn't science fiction, major film, that isn't science fiction with a big budget, is fucking Titanic. The Avatar films are shit, but they're kind of out of date, really. That's the problem. He's got his head stuck in the 1980s. And weirdly enough, the the Titanic used science. It's not a science fiction. It's not even a fiction. There is a fictional story, characters in that. But what happened wasn't fiction. But Titanic was based on science. They literally did a lot of science. They got the models correct, the continuity correct. They got all the details correct. They did all as much as they could. They did everything they could to make it believable. Of course, James Cameron could do that kind of film because he cares. Like with Terminator, guy cares about science fiction. As soon as people come along who don't care about science fiction, it's fucking ruined. Alien, as soon as people come along that don't care about science fiction, it's fucking ruined. Look at David Fincher's career. What does he usually do? Psychopathic killers. Look at, mental complexes and stuff like that. Well, look what he did with Alien. It's the moodiest, most psychological one out of all of them. He's not a sci-fi fan. Brilliant director, not the right guy. Just not the right guy. The people who do science fiction best are the people who care about this. And this is the same for Tolkien doing fantasy. This is the same for everyone who does those kind of things. It doesn't mean that there won't be any crossovers, but they're unique circumstances. In the vast majority of times, Gene Roddenberry cared about science fiction and built Star Trek. Built Star Trek, the one that everyone tries to copy today and fucks up. It's crazy. So this is why Alien Earth is shite. But the wrong guy. Wrong guy. Shit story. Doesn't care about the details. Let's go through the film. This is all off my memory. Let's go off the programme so far. There's been 4 episodes so far that I've seen. They just get laughably shitter as they go. We're going to talk about some of the science fiction elements. We're going to talk about the story. We're also going to talk about what they're trying to do in the meta, which is retarded. But we'll get to that. Number 1, the first thing before we go anywhere, I want to talk about the alien itself. So, you see its face? You see how it's got a chin? It's got teeth, and then the teeth, this is a nose, and there's a skull in there. It doesn't have a top lip that's 4 inches tall, you fucking clowns. God, when I saw that alien, and when I saw it moonwalk, I laughed my ass off. This is why it's shit. The alien looks terrible, but we'll get there. So the story starts, and you've got a bunch of people, and everyone thinks, this is, oh my God, they've actually got Yusef. Again, I remember him. Oh no, I don't, this is not right. He's even wearing the same fucking clothes. As soon as I saw that crew, I was like, I'm almost out. I know what you're doing. We've got the Nostromo interior. You've got Yusef back somehow. This is fucking stupid. Then we have bad writing. Let's just start with bad writing. This kid here, who was brought up in this world at the age of, 19, has now come on this crew. Let me explain. Why is there a kid? Why is there a kid on a 65-year mission? Why have you brought a child with you? Let's say he is 19 and they've been running around. How long have you been running around for? I know it's a 65-year mission. Have you been asleep for all 64 years and just 1 year you've been running around catching specimens? I don't understand. It's like, well, that's what we did. We ran around for a year and then we've been asleep and in stasis for 64 years. Okay, cool. So you brought an 18-year-old with you. Why? Let's say he's 21. My point doesn't change. Why did you bring a child with you? Not only that, this child is, if you say he's 22, that makes it worse. Are you telling me that a 22-year-old doesn't know the world he lives in? I remember learning about Bosnia and Kosovo when I was at school. I remember learning about the UN and all this kind of shit. By the time I was 21, I pretty much had a good handle on how everything works. I didn't know everything, but I had a bloody good handle on how most things worked. Like, this is the government, and this is a dictatorship, and these people have this, and this is the UN, they're fucking useless, and this is America, they just do what they want, and blah, 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 blah. And you go around and you understand how the world works. But this is shit writing. We need to tell you how the world works. The kid doesn't know anything. This card represents us. Cool. What do the rest of the cards represent? Oh no, we don't find out because someone butts in and we don't actually really learn much anyway. The world is split up between corporations is the most stupid idea I've ever heard. It's just Stupid. Do you know how many businesses there are in the world? There's millions. And now all of a sudden it's just 6. Cool. And you got to remember, this is all information from 2025, from 2055, because they don't know what the fuck is going on for the last 65 years because they haven't been on Earth. They say Prodigy is the newcomer into all of this. How the fuck do you know? Well, we got a message from Earth telling us, the message that you all read but the kid didn't. That's quite funny. Why didn't you tell him at the time? As soon as I heard all this, I was just like, this is shit. Shit. Then they show you the tubes. I laughed my ass off. I thought, this is goofy as fuck. Then they showed you an eyeball with tentacles. That is not scary, people. Fuck off. I'm sure I drew that as a child, an eyeball with tentacles. I'm sure that actual monster is in Captain Bucky O'Hare, if you ever saw that. This was a work of art. I've just come back from the Giga Museum in Switzerland. I've seen it in person. It is beautiful, right? The alien is beautiful. That's just a piece of fucking comic shit. Anyone could make up that in 5 seconds, right? Fuck it. Let's do it now. Let me think of another alien. I don't know, it's the skull of a dinosaur. It's like a skull, like this. And then it has the snake. It has the body of a snake, but it has spider legs that look like ribs. Right? There you go. It has like, it looks like it's an exoskeleton skull of a dinosaur, like a snake head, with organic stuff underneath it. With the body of a snake, it's even got like a hood. It's got like a hood section to it, like this. And then it has legs of a spider that look like ribs, and there's 8 of them. Like this, you know. And it goes on this tail, and then this tail's got a little flare on the end. Like a fin, like a shark or something, like a fish. Fucking done it, sorted, there you go. Oh my god, that's so good! Whoa! It's a fucking eyeball it's an octopus with an eyeball on top of it. It's shit. There's no life cycle. It can do fucking whatever. Mystical powers as that thing. Is it telepathic? What's it doing? Does it speak English? Fucking who knows or cares? Crap. 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 Never, ever, ever, ever introduce another alien to the alien universe. It's about that alien. Anything else is just a worm or a slug or a plant or something on another planet. Don't introduce stuff with it, trying to compete with it. That's retarded. If you want to go and do that, go make another fucking show and call it something else. You just can't have the pedigree that comes with this name. Because that's what that is. Right? Leave it alone. Any road. Where were we? Oh, yeah. So, they all die, and the alien moonwalks. And I shit you not, right? It's here. And it just does this. And at first I thought it was the camera angle. It's not the camera angle. It is, you actually see a medium shot where you can see it in the background. The door's still, and it's just going backwards against the door. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, and the woman has got the worst, shittest acting you've ever heard. Help me, Fuck it. Oh, I'm glad she dies. So then, Parker, he's typing away in Mother's room, you know, because that hasn't changed. Oh, what do you mean changed? No, that's the future past. Oh, I'm fucking confused. Basically what happens is he shits himself. The alien breaks into the door. Don't show me that. Bang! Bang! 3 hits. The fucking door's crippled. Open it that last little bit. Struggle. What do you mean? Don't show me actually doing it. Do what you do in Aliens. You're not going to do it justice. Just suggest what's going on. Right? Stop spending stupid money on shit sets. You're just wasting money. He gets in the floor. For some reason, there's a floor thing. Don't know why, don't ask me. And it drools on his face. Then it tries to get in. But you remember, when you dent doors to that extent, you can open them later. So, and then what happens is that the Maginot, and I think this is what they're going for. The Maginot is trying to make communication with Earth. It flies past a thing near the moon and hits it, and that cuts communications, because the Earth only has one set of communications for the entire Earth, even though man is spreading out in the galaxy. Of course. Number 2 is, when it shows you that, you can see all little windows with people inside. Did none of them get on the phone and go, fuck me, something's just crashed into us on a collision course to Earth? Not only that is, Earth is this big. Earth is that big to you. Fuck me, you did a really good job of hitting the Earth over here, because that's where it's going to be by the time you get there. Instead of heading for it, it moves. The Earth fucking moves. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, amen. Because you're not flying, you're flying past the moon. You're not doing like a lunar transition orbit where you... And even then, you're aiming for the wrong place. You're aiming for the wrong place. You're heading towards the Earth. It won't be there by the time you get there, dipshit. Number 3, or number 17, whichever point I'm making. Why did you stop the ship 4 months from Earth? Why? They wake up and they say, oh, another 4 months to Earth? Why? Why? Oh, because we've got to let the alien run around and kill everyone. Oh, yeah, cool. I forgot about that bit. Why 4 months? Why? How did the alien get out? Now, we're going to see that probably in the next episode. There'll be a flashback episode. It'll be retarded because they're all in stasis. Did he let it out on purpose? Why? This mission is specifically bringing back this stuff. That's retarded. Anyway, so this ship manages to knock out the only radar system and warning system the entire Earth has, even though we are all over space now. We could probably blow up asteroids and all sorts of shit. But fuck it. The ship manages to not alert Prodigy's defence system or anything. It just appears. Oh my god, there's a ship. Bang. Sorry, what? That ship doesn't blow up when it hits the Earth, which I find strange. Every single aircraft we have currently, if it hits the Earth at 100 miles an hour, it tends to blow up. This spaceship, though, you know, spaceships that are known to be ultra-armoured, if you drop a tank, if you get an MBT and you drop it 100 metres above the air, it will flatten itself like a pancake. Right? It will just go, and that's it. And everyone inside will turn to paste. Not just because, imagine if the hull integrity was correct, you'd internally collapse most of your organs, dropping from 100 metres in the sky and hitting the floor instantly. Now, don't get me wrong, this thing doesn't splat into the Earth. No, instead it harpoons it and doesn't explode. Nothing explodes. In fact, the engines are still going, but the engines are going so much that it's not pushing the aircraft into the Earth. Number 2 is, if the engines are going, this means it was accelerating towards Earth. You don't seem to know how things work in space program. You don't need your engines. Alien showed you. The first film back in 1979. Our Lord and Saviour. Alien. Right? Alien 79. The reason why anyone's watching. Right? Alien 79. The Nostromo detaches from the umbilical and goes, that's it, and she's off. That's how space works. It's crazy. You know, Newton's laws of motion, like his first one, and all that shite. Crazy, I know. But no, this thing's accelerating towards Earth. It would have Hadoukened into the Earth so fucking hard. Re-entry. I wish Elon Musk needs to know how that thing re-entered, because it seems to be coming at an acute angle, although it doesn't seem to be on fire. And then it kind of plops itself into a building and makes one building slightly collapse. Do you know how much you'd have to nudge a building to make it collapse? Diggers do it all the time. They nudge a building, the wall comes off and the fucking building falls down. It's retarded. And don't tell me these are futuristic buildings. Fuck off. All these buildings were built in 2055, which is literally, 30 years from now. Fuck off. Fuck off. No, fuck off. You're messing with the timeline. It's all retarded. If you tell me that in 2122 that the Nostromo was built 100 years from now, it is a far-fetched, but it's far-fetched enough that you just don't know. You just don't know. But I know that the Maginot wasn't built in 2055. That's fucking retarded. You didn't have to do this. They could have easily written a 25-year mission, and that would have made it more plausible. fuck it. Let's go crazy. Let's call it a 10-year mission. You've written this and made it stupid, which means that you don't care. Noel, you're an asshole. We can tell you don't care. But it's not Noel's fault, he's just taking the check. Disney should have cared. Brandywine should have cared. Anyone should have cared. Crashes into the earth. The engines are going. The noise would be incredible. It hasn't blown up. It hasn't gone off. It hasn't whatever. All the specimens are fine. Holy shit, there's a coffee cup on the table inside the spaceship. Number 2 is, and this is a criticism, it's kind of a criticism that we forgive. And there's a reason why we should forgive it. In Star Trek, you have the Enterprise turn up and the Romulan Warbird turns up at the same angle. They're facing the right way. We're all level. In space. That's retarded. But you could say that when they rendezvous with each other, that they rotate and make sure they get on the right plane when they meet up. You could do that, right? The ships automatically align when they come face to face with other ships. I could accept that. In Star Trek, the computers are clever enough to do that. But the Maginaut crashes nice and level. Not at an angle, not nose in slightly. It crashes nice and level. It's not rotated. You're building the sets. Build the corridors rotated. You'd get a bit more fucking... Oh, wow. Imagine if the whole thing landed on its side. This is creative. You'd be like... Do you know what I loved about the Maginaut crash? Was the fact that they didn't go for the cliche everything's flat. You don't notice these things, but it's a clever idea. It doesn't land on its side. Imagine if they built the sets where all they have to do is decorate the floor as the wall and the side, one side as the ceiling and one side as the floor. You're like, cool. That would be a little cool. I like that little aspect. It just made me smile a bit. But no, they missed that as usual. It's not even fucking going down pitch. It does for 1 or 2 corridors for 5 seconds and then the whole aircraft is just fucking level. I get that the spacecraft is just level. Fuck off. It's not been creative. It's not been creative. It's shat. Missed opportunities is one thing that I've just got a peeve with. It crashed. It should have come in at a dodgy angle. Use your fucking heads. So, it crashes. They go on board. Aliens running around. And for some reason, Parker is trying to capture the alien to take it away. And he electrocutes it. And then sprays toothpaste on it. But he sprays toothpaste on it on one side. Now, I want to do a little demonstration here. If you have something on the floor, like so, and you spray goo all over it, like that, and then you try and pull said goo, like Spider-Man, you do realise that the underside is not... It's not got shit on it, right? You do realise that you haven't really encapsulated it. That's just fucking dumb. The alien then gets loose and then goes next to Marlowe, and I've read this somewhere, because Marlowe showed no fear, the alien didn't kill him. Oh, right. Okay. So when anyone gets attacked by an alien that they don't know about, i.e. Dietrich, i.e. a pawn, anybody gets attacked by an alien they don't know is there, that's wrong, because Alien Earth says it needs to detect that you're afraid. Why does an alien need to detect you're afraid to kill you? That's just fucking retarded. Why? That's just stupid. If that's not the case, it didn't attack him because he's carrying an embryo? Possibly. But you'd think the alien would carry him away and stick him to a wall and stop in a spaz. The alien goes and grabs a brother, and I'm not doing this in chronological order, it goes and grabs a brother, takes it into a container, sticks it there, and entices someone to come in. But then Wendy comes and it goes, oh, for fuck's sake, the toaster's arrived. And then it goes, peekaboo, I'm here. And you're like, oh, fucking what? But anyway, I'm jumping ahead. You might have noticed that I'm skipping all of the android nonsense. We'll get to that, because it is a separate story. It literally has nothing to... Peter Pan shit. So then... They're walking around this crash. They go into the buildings, into the ship, into the buildings, into the ship. I'm like, God, these buildings seem to have survived far. There's not even a gap where the building has crashed into the what the fuck? Any road. So they do all that. The alien grabs a guy with a machine gun, pulse rifle rip-off, and the guy doesn't shoot the alien. Instead, it just shows all of its moustache area, because the alien now has a giant 4-inch moustache area where a moustache goes. Obviously, because otherwise, what the fuck else is that? The alien looks hideous. I changed the chest portion of the alien. Why? Stop it. It looks worse. It actually looks worse, you retard. Anyway, yeah, imagine having the balls to take a famous design that was designed by an artist, right, most people wouldn't know Giger exists, including myself, if it wasn't for Alien. And you've got the bollocks to take that design and go, he's got it wrong, the retard. Fucking hell. Anyway, so, the alien doesn't kill people. People don't shoot the alien. And then it grabs the guy and swings him around because reasons. It goes into the room where all the marionettes are. Joan of Arc and her friends, or the Renaissance guys, and literally within 10 seconds dices them all. And I was like, well, we best see that when it takes on our protagonists, eh? No, we don't see that. The alien's a retard. The alien has been nuked in this. Well, I say nuked. It's pretentious nuked, because it's like, look how dangerous the alien is. Look how it shreds everyone, apart from when it knows that the script said it shouldn't, and it doesn't. It's literally a CGI puppet now. It's just a puppet. It's just a puppet. And what I mean by it's a puppet of retards just to do what he wants with. It'd be scary when he thinks it wants to be scary. It doesn't work that way. You've got to keep the way you build up. And the way you scare people is you build up the tension over time. You can't just drop the ball every now and then, because then you'd have to start again. And you can only drop that ball so many times before people go, oh, the fucking aliens are funny. Right? It's nuked the alien. The alien's not scary. The alien's not anything. And if you think you're not scared of the alien because you watched Alien when you were 7, play Alien Isolation. Right? It's not that I'm scared that I believe that the boogeyman alien is out there and it's real. It's not about that. It's about putting yourself into the characters' positions where you start to feel what they feel. Oh, fucking no, I'm not going in there, you motherfucker. Oh, God, no. Like that. And that's what Alien Isolation brought back, thank God. And all the rest of them failed to do. The alien is now a laughingstock. Instead, it's a stupid eyeball that's inside a sheep. Anyway, so the alien does fuck all. Or, apart from, it can kick over a giant steel container, but it can't fight a bloke and his android girl sister. Fuck off, right? Just fuck off. It kicked over. I'm headbutted or kicked over, whichever. It rolled over a giant steel container with them twats in it and about 10 cows worth of carcasses. But when it's it against her, it can't fight her. Fuck, shut up. Any road, no one shoots the alien, and then Marrow gets away without the alien, and then that's it. Cool, okay then. Everyone keeps on saying Marrow is a great character. Do not confuse a good actor with a good character. Marrow is boring because it's built on a premise that doesn't make any sense. He's a security officer. He's more like a fucking spy. Action man. John Wick. You name it, he can do it. It's mental. So, we then get the eggs back to Prodigy with that Elon Musk. He's like an Elon Musk slash Zuckerberg mix. He looks like Zuckerberg, but he thinks he's Elon Musk. Retard. He just goes around insulting everyone, which probably actually makes sense. But no, it's a bad character. It's a bad everything. Anyway, they bring the eggs in, and the android, the Blade Runner ripoff, does not tell anyone how they should handle these things. He's worked out all this stuff. He's read the files. The files should tell him what's going on. When he linked up with Mother on the fucking Weyland-Yutani ship, he should not be allowed access. But he's given access. No world building. It's all bollocks. Doesn't make sense. And then, they cut the alien up. The egg. She can hear it screaming. Don't know why. Why can you... Look, you're a toaster. You're an Android phone. We programmed you. If you can hear something, that means your sensors can relay that to your computer brain. We can then know that as well. If you can translate it to a noise that we can hear, then that means that that information is flowing around your systems. Oh, no, you can't. Just her can hear it. Why? Don't know. Are they listening in on a conversation or are they talking to her? Don't care. It's fucking stupid. I don't want an alien language. That's retarded. The more mysterious our alien is, the better. The scarier it is. You don't know what it's doing. You don't know what it's thinking. You don't even know what it's fucking looking. Never mind what it's saying and does it like toast or not. It's retarded. They cut the alien egg open. And then we see the alien tadpoles. And I couldn't stop laughing. We don't need to see those bits. It's like, you haven't seen this bit of the alien. Every film we have to see a new bit. No, that's not how fucking stories work, you clowns. Oh, Jesus. We look at, like, you'll watch good shows like Andor or fucking anything that's actually good. And you don't need to see the same thing over and over. Andor doesn't have, am I right? Andor does not have a fucking lightsaber in it. Excellent show. It's not the best Star Wars show because it's so good it's transcended Star Wars, as in Star Wars isn't that good. Andor is better than all of Star Wars. I've said it. You know, you don't need to see these things. It's like Burnham with fucking Star Trek. You don't need to be related to these people. You don't need to be a secret child of Spock. You don't. Stop it! Make your own stuff. Make your own stuff. If you're going to do it in this world, make sure you adhere to that world, and where you can, put your stuff in. Like a new ship. Maybe like a weird little technology or something. But don't do things that undermine the entire story. They then put the little chestburster thing into a lung, because that's all it needs. It obviously clearly just needs a lung. And then it bursts out. How? You do realise physics, right? The facehuggers can't break out of those tubes in Aliens. Why? Because you've got this far to go with a load of liquid. You can't create a high enough force. This is the science bit. You know, forces. Mass times acceleration. Mass times acceleration is a force. You can't do that trying to displace that amount of liquid in a glass that's that strong. These containers have been designed since 2055 to contain these specimens. You can't break out of it, you stupid bastard. Right? But no, of course it does. It breaks straight out of it. Hi-ya! You know, I always thought the idea of the alien was that it's eating its way out. Right? That's why it hurts. It's eating its way out. You know, and pushing, and it can get its back against your spine and give it a good fucking push because it's got a lot of muscles. Not fucking launch itself like a cannon out of all of that fluid and then the glass. I think it'd been fucking funny as fuck if it hit the glass and knocked itself out. That'd have been fucking well good. I'd have believed it more. I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. It might look a bit goofy, and that's why you don't. When you shoot it, you go, no, that's goofy. We won't put that in. But still, that would have been better. And then we have the ET moment where she's like, oh, and she strokes it, and I was just like, for fuck's sake. It's just a joke now. And no one's going, that is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. It's bizarre. Right, let's talk about the B-plot, because there is a B-plot. It is not, it's rare, it's shit. Let's talk about the idea. In the future, it says, at the beginning of the whole series, it says, in the future, there are 3 guises. I've run out of room. Well, no, fuck it. Guise number 1, there are androids. Now, this could be the wrong order. I don't care. Number 2, there are cyborgs. And number 3, there are hybrids. This is, in fact, wrong. In the future from when? Are you saying from in this point in the film, in the future there will be three guises? Or are you saying in the future from now, me sat watching it, there will be three guises? Because you're wrong. In Alien and Aliens and Alien 3, I don't remember seeing three guises. And these aren't three guises, you fucking clowns. Watch. If I get my hand and I surgically implant these pliers into my hand, or I chop off my leg from the knee downwards and put a bionic leg in there, just a metal leg, I am a cyborg. That is the definition. I am me with an attachment. I've now become a Dremel, right? So, number one. Number two there is a Dremel. I am a Dremel. I have a replaceable attachment. I've removed my organic bit and put a metal bit in. Fine with that. That's not an android, though. What are you talking about? No. Androids are robots. This is a robot. Right? Androids are robots. They are anamorphic droids. Androids. They are human-looking robots. The difference between the welder in a manufacturing plant that made the Maginot in 2055 and Bishop is that Bishop is designed to look, is a robot that's designed to simulate a human being. Artificial person, if you want to put it that way, which is actually a very good way to describe what an android is. Data in Star Trek is an android. He is trying to be human and look human and pass as a human. A working Joe, yes, is an android because you have given them or you've restricted them by giving them legs and arms like that. You can make a robotic dog. That would not be an android. That would be a robot that looks like a dog. It's that simple. Cyborgs and androids are not the same thing. A cyborg is not a robot. It's just not. Android, robot, cyborg. They're not the same words. They haven't got the same root words, you fucking idiots. They're not the same thing. Right? These are not guises. These are different things. This is like saying a cow and a transformer, if they were real, were the same thing. No. A cow is a mammal from Earth. A transformer is a robot that's melded itself with nanobots or shit. Whatever. It's not the same thing. These aren't guises, you twats. If you just mean a guise that's something that's non-human, then fucking everything on Earth is, other than humans, is a guise. Anyway, let's get to hybrids. Wendy is not a hybrid. Wendy is an android. That's it. That's it. This show has done nothing to convince me. Even they don't know. The show has done nothing to convince me that Wendy has anything of a human in her. If her emotions are if our emotions are controlled by our chemical balance of hormones, if you remove them, we're then not human anymore. Well, no, that part of you has gone. So the emotional side of you has gone, which they fuck around with in this show all the time. They don't make it clear. But she's an android. She's an android. What did they transfer from her to there? It was just pure information. In other words, she's a copy. She's an android. She's not a hybrid. If you want to call a hybrid an android that believes that she's human, go ahead. But she's still an android, which means that she basically fits straight into this. So it's not three guises. It's an android and a cyborg. They are not the same type of things. What they're trying to say is that they are things that walk around as humans that look like an android, and it is. An android that thinks it's human, it's basically an android, or cyborgs, which are humans. They're not that these two aren't the same categories. One was born of a mother or artificial womb or whatever in the future you want, but they were born from our genetic material of parents or whatever. Maybe if they're in a lab. They're grown in the life way that evolution has had on this earth forever. They're grown in that kind of way, using DNA, blah, 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 blah. That's not the same as something that we put a date on, right? the cyborgs, when you say, who are you made by? You'll say, the genetic material from these people. Android was made in a factory. Your chip was made here, and your wiring, your fingers were made here, 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 and you have a date of assembly and a date of first switch on. When was the cyborg switched on? Well, he was born, but we don't know exactly when humans do actually switch on or not. Right, cool, whatever. Now, if you wanted to make the difference between a replicant and a cyborg, or a human that was grown, like we DNA'd you from literally just typing code into a computer, and a replicator made your DNA, so you have no parents. Cool. But that would be in the realms of cyborgs. They're organic organisms that have been artificially produced versus the purebred, the good old-fashioned way of humans that were made. That's got nothing to do with androids, right? This is a fucking android. It is literally a computer that was manufactured by us, designed by us, with a system that we fucking fabricated from nothing, and we put it together to do what we want it to do. Now, I can literally put this inside a fucking machine that looks like a human and get this thing to power its arms and legs moving. That would be an android. A real android. But that's nothing to do with these things. So what the fuck are you talking about? It's nonsense. So, moving on. They're trying to make something so people can feel like they'll live forever because they can download their intelligence and their feelings and all the rest of it into Wendy's. But you die. That android wakes up thinking it's you, but it's not you. The continuity has been broken. We're carrying your body away. You are intrinsic with these things backwards and forwards. Now, this is a discussion to have about when do you really exist and when do you don't, like when you go to sleep, when you wake up, are you the same person? All that kind of shit. We can do stuff like that. Well, brainwaves don't turn off, so going to sleep isn't like the end of you because we can just measure it while you sleep. You're still there. You're still switched on. So, you can have a debate, but why is this in my alien universe? People seem to think in the alien universe there has to be androids. No. In Alien 3 there was no android. Bishop's in it, but he's a carry-on character from before. And he's a wreck. He's a piece of hardware that's fucked. Her messing around with a terminal or a scanner is like messing around with Bishop. There's no android in that film. Alien 4, well, we have to have androids. Well, people can ask the question, where are androids? That was shit and boring. Prometheus, we have an android, David, who seems to be a psychopath. In Covenant, we have David and Walter, both who seem to be psychopaths. Yippee. The alien universe does not need androids in it. The beauty of the alien universe is in the title of the programs, which is The Alien. Holy shit. It is not hard to make alien. Imagine if you had Alien Isolation and you cut out the working Joes. You just have less of a game. Still scare the fuck out of you, though, wouldn't it? And in Alien Isolation, the working Joes are literally just like power loaders with their own fucking, orders. That's all they are. They're just mechanical things that you can switch off with weapons. So, yeah. The whole Wendy idea, the whole talking to aliens, the whole who is she, the whole brother thing is absolute fucking nonsense. I love the fact that she goes into a child's room, basically, and gets a guillotine. There's a guillotine there with a blade, and she snaps it off, and it doesn't break anything. There isn't even a hole in the end and turns into a samurai sword. And they go, yes, you can leave. What is that? Is that a samurai sword? No, it's a guillotine blade that looks awfully like a samurai sword with not a hole in it, no broken bits or whatever. Why are you taking that with you? Because I'm going on a mission. What? What? Why are you going on a mission? Why is the CEO, who has this very, very top secret thing called the Wendy program, basically, we'll get into the meta bit in a minute. Why we've got this Wendy character and her cronies who are all fucking useless, right? State of the art, extremely expensive, so much so they're hidden on an island. Why would you introduce them to the world? What happens if they get stolen? There'll be espionage and all this shit. What happens if they're photographed? What happens if someone captures them? What happens if they all get destroyed? Because that ship you've just sent them into, its engine goes critical. Because Marlowe goes, I've been told by Weyland to fuck you all, and blow the whole place up. It's retarded. It's retarded on every fucking level. It's What Noah has done is he's gone, right, I know what Alien looks like. Copy everything that's in Alien. Literally, get me a whiteboard and just cover it in pictures of everything. I'll have them jars, and we'll have that scenery, and we'll have that. Oh, I'll have that gun, and we'll have that gun, and we'll have that gun, and we'll have this, and we'll have that. And then he's gone, ooh, what do the actors look like? Well, you look a bit like Ripley, and you look a bit like Parker, and you look a bit... Oh, you... What's another good film? Alien, about the same time. Ridley Scott. Blade Runner. Right, get that android, get him in there, and we'll get this, and we'll get all these buildings. They look a bit fucking, you know. And that's all I've done is just go around picking elements of all these shit things. And then there's one other thing. If you listen to a lot of 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, maybe 2000s, but 70s, 80s, 90s, when you hear a lot of the how it was made, they talk like this. Well, I was just sat there thinking to myself, what do I do? You know, Ridley Scott talks about Alien. He's like, I've just seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I was amazed by how gritty and, you know, down to earth it was and all this kind of shite. And I wanted to kind of, you know, the haunted house in space. So that gave me inspiration. And then someone might say, oh, actually, here's a little tiny Easter egg you might not have noticed in these 20 years. But that little thing there is also in this little thing here. The purge screen in Ripley's shuttle is the purge screen in Decker's taxi or whatever in his car. It's what it says on the screen. Just because we were reusing shit we found. R2-D2's feet as the Nostromo landing claw thing for the Nostromo. All these bits, they're just knockover bits. The Acton power station in Aliens is also the site for the power station, the chemical plant in Batman, if you didn't know, in 1989. Look, all these little tiddle bits. Don't you find them interesting? This is why you buy the DVD, to find out the extra bits. But these were all accidental or incidental. It was just like, yeah, I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre and it resonated with me, so I thought I'd kind of just... Looking back now, yeah, actually I do believe that the things of Texas Chainsaw Massacre made me go that way. Or the reason why we used this bit out of this film is because it was lying around and we just think, fuck it, well, we need something. Just stick that there. There we go. Wonderful. That's how these things work. There are incidental, accidental, all that kind of shit. But now they want to manufacture this stuff. Wouldn't it be good? You know, Star Trek First Contact. Captain Picard is hurt by the Borg and he wants to punish them. Not a bad storyline, actually, because Captain Picard he's always by the book. I'm Jean-Luc Picard, I'm by the book, I always do the right thing. It'd be good if we tested that. And he was assaulted by the Borg. This is touchy. This is something we can all understand. And as you're writing it, he's arguing, oh, fucking Borg need to die. It's like, all right, steady on. With your vengeance. Ooh, it's a bit like Moby Dick. Not the original, but one of the most well-known vengeance stories. Okay, then. Well, why don't I actually even use a line? Because I could actually be clever with it. You know. And with all the vengeance, blah, blah, blah. If his heart was a cannon, he would have shot his chest upon it. Nice line. I like it. And the whole, you know... I didn't read Moby Dick. Actually, I didn't read it. I just know the moral of the story. Captain Ahab must hunt his whale. All that kind of jazz. And you go, that's pretty... Yeah, but all of Star Trek comes from, you know, the Battle of Wolf and all of the episodes that are built up. So you know who Captain Picard is. So you know who the Borg are. So you know how he was violated. So you understand all of this. You need an entire 7 series to understand that it's all that built up that you know he's a man by the line. He does the right thing, but this is personal. This time, this was an egregious, this was an extreme attack on himself, on his conscience, on his being, on everything. So it hits hard. Just that scene hits hard because even he has his limit. And the bit where he goes out and he says to Worf, it's a really good scene, you know, where he's like, you coward, you want to run away and blow up the ship. And then Worf says, if you were any other man, I would kill you where you stand. And I was like, oh, because we know Worf, because we've had all of this time, because we've had all of this, we understand it, it makes sense. Fuck it, Peter Pan. Huh? Peter Pan. Everyone knows Peter Pan. Peter Pan's a well-respected story. Let me just force that into the Alien universe, and then it'll look like I'm being a clever dick. No, it's shit. No, what the fuck has Peter Pan got to do? You're making me think of fucking Michael Jackson now. What the fuck has Peter Pan? Oh, she uses a hook. She uses a stainless steel hook to hook the alien. He literally says the alien's the alligator. I couldn't fucking believe it. She can hear the voices. It's like the ticking clock. Fuck off. That's not clever. It's low. It's not clever. It's not. If you have this idea that Peter Pan is weaving your story for some reason, Alien, Peter Pan, it's what I usually think of. Fucking idiot. If I weave it in and the audience don't really realise, then that would be cleverer. I'm using it to steer my narrative, the idea of Peter Pan, but the audience don't. It's not on the head. It's not on the nose. It's their seat. It's behind the scenes. So when you really think about it, you go, fuck me, this is... Holy shit, this is like Red Riding Hood and the Wolf. Just on an extreme version of... It's little subtle, tiny little hints you only just get to notice. The subtlety of it is the cleverness. Not, this is Neverland, you're the Lost Boys, I'm the boy genius. Hook, the ticking clock, it's an alligator, look at it. You fucking knobhead. Oh, I swear to God. The way that people clap as well, the ones that will absorb anything. I've got an idea for you that if you saw this on Alien Earth, you would clap and say it's a good idea. Bear with me a second. What it is with the alien, right, because you've never seen it before, when the alien doesn't have a queen, how do they make a hive? Well, this carapace falls off, and inside, like CDs, there are eggs. That's why this head is so big. The head is so big because it's carrying its future generation, its head. If its carapace on this fell off and there was loads of eggs inside and then it takes them out and puts them down and then they grow into bigger eggs for facehuggers, there'd be all these morons going, that's amazing, it explains everything. It explains the big head, it explains where they... And you'd be like, fuck off. No, that's a stupid shit idea. That is horrible. If you did that, I think I'd never watch anything that they ever made ever again. And all I do now is just I watch it to see how bad it gets. But I'm always hopeful that maybe Alien Earth might have been good. No, it's not. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. Not only do they break everything just like that, but they do stuff like she has a fight with the alien. Why didn't it kill her? We do it behind closed doors. Good, because what you were going to see was even worse. I said to a friend of mine, they've made these androids super... Why have they made the androids super strong? Why? That's impossible. That's stupid. Ash had a fight with Ripley. Ash had a fight with Parker. Parker goes to grab him, tries to drag him off. He grabs his tit and Parker goes down. Now, I did see someone say to me, oh, he won that fight. It's like, dude, if I grab your tit and you're not expecting me to, and I grab a handful and squeeze as hard as I can, you're going down as well. Ash lost that fight to humans. Parker fought the alien, and the alien just went, fuck off, right? The alien grabbed Brett and just fucked him off, just picked him up. In Aliens, it picks up Dietrich, it is a bit goofy how it does that, but it picks up Apon. Simpson drags fucking Hudson down when everyone's trying to help. The aliens are a hell of a lot stronger than people, and the androids really aren't. They're really not that much stronger than people. Why have you made it that android... You see, that's the thing, you see. You can, with arms and dimensions and stuff like this, you can only make things so strong. You're like, yeah, but hydraulic cylinders, even on an arm this long would be really strong. But you need a pump that's massive and all this hydraulic fluid and shit. It's all about surface areas. You can only apply so much pressure to things. And you got to remember, the androids do this silently, right? They move around like us. They don't have that much strength. The alien is a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger than we are. Hence, it has that kind of strength because it scales. You know, like a grizzly bear is a shitload stronger than a man, and a baby is a shitload less stronger than a man. I wonder why. I wonder if size has got anything to do with it. I wonder if everything in the world's retarded in this stupid fucking alien Earth. So, You've got to remember, every single point of this programme that you see, every single point of this programme has to have an effect on Alien. It's literally just before, it's 2 years before. Every single thing has to have an impact. Every single thing has an impact. No one knows about the alien. Everyone forgot about it. No one looks about where it came from. They went and picked it up. Where did they go and pick it up from? Who fucking cares? To be quite honest, it's all just nonsense. The alien, like her brother, the alien dives around. He doesn't shoot at it. It dives around him, doesn't go straight for him. That's fucking convenient. The plot armour is just fucking insane. But what do you expect from a shit Disney thing? There are so many things broken in this. And they're just going to continue to break things. And it's just got now to a point where it's like, I know it's fucked. I know it's shit. Why am I even bothering? I'll watch it, but why am I even bothering trying to poke every hole in it? Because I could just keep on going. There's holes everywhere. Why does this do this? Why does this do this? Why does what you say and what you do contradict each other? Everything in this show, it just... In the last episode, the doctor woman and the bloke who seems to be the operator go and walk into the woods, the gardens of where they are, to talk secretly. What makes you think that the place isn't bugged? What? Surely every place in a place like that with espionage, what makes you think that you're not bugged, you fucking idiot? This is the future. Your clothes could be bugged for all you fucking know. It's just like they do this thing where they talk to each other and then they state the obvious thing and then don't act upon what they've just said. But let's give the eyeball a sheep. Why? Why a sheep? Why do you start off with something and then the sheep stands up and looks at them like, oh, for fuck's sake, that's not scary, that's goofy as fuck. The fact that it's CG and looks like shit. I've seen people, oh my god, that's so fucking disturbing. Barney the dinosaur would scare the fuck out of you. The brother, he's like, no, we're leaving, we're going to go, right, we'll kick you out otherwise. All right, I'll stay then. I hope he tries to, like, you know, a bit of espionage. The guy goes, oh, you should have seen what we've done with your lung. Why would you say that to him? Why would you say that to him? Why is everyone in this programme so fucking dumb? You've got Marrow talking to the kid. What the fuck is the kid going to do? When Wendy starts hearing noises, she just walks into an unsecure lab. Isn't the fucking door locked? Oh, she has access. Why? Why does she have access? You want to change that, right? It's like when she... Ice Age. What? Fucking Ice Age. Why do we keep on having overlays? These god-horrible overlays. Someone doing something. Then an overlay of Marrow, then an overlay of Ice Age, then a this, then a that. Why? Why is Wendy and her brother in 2120 watching Ice Age? Why is there a baseball from 1979? Or 77 or 9, I can't remember. Why? What? Is this because we'll remember it? He doesn't care about... You remember The Expanse? Oh, please bring The Expanse back. Not the Disney, not the Amazon version, the one before that, before Sci-Fi when they had it. Oh, they did such a good job. You know, everything wasn't related to us. Actually, in The Expanse, they rarely ever talk about anything that's related to today. This is like me all of a sudden just bringing up 1906 for some fucking stupid reason. Why? Ice Age. Oh, you'll recognise Ice Age. Some of you'll remember that fucking game in baseball. It's 2120. Do you know how many animations that have been done? Right? Disney have been around since what? 1937? 1937 to today. Right? They've done 63 films. Fully animated films. 63. What do you think it's going to be? Right? What's that? It's let's just call it 1940. 1940 to now is 60, 70, 80, 85 years. 85, 88 years. In 88 years, In 88 years, and there's been a world war since then, in 88 years there's been 63 films. What do you think is going to happen in another 100 years' time? Do you think there could possibly be another 63 films? But no, Ice Age. Remember, it has to be Ice Age. Why? Because you were around to see it and you remember it and you recognise it. That's just fucking stupid. Come on now. This is just... it's just painful. And this is because these people are not sci-fi guys. They are the wrong guys. Right? An alien film, and I'll finish on this, an alien film or series should be related to these several things. Let me just wipe a bit of this off. Come on. There we go. Let me just wipe some of this off. An alien film or programme is easy to write. Right, so the rules of an alien film or programme. Number one, has to have the alien in it. Right, and no other. Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien 4, Prometheus, no. Alien Covenant, no, that's not really an alien, that's just something that Norbert made. Yeah, right, has to have an alien in it. Number two, has a crew. Right, you want a small number of people that we can keep track of. Now, those can be Marines going down to a surface of a colony, but all the colony is dead, so we've got this small crew. This can be the crew of the Nostromo. We have a crew. It could be the Magonaut. The Magonaut could just have a crew and just follow what they're doing. It doesn't mean it has to be an enclosed crew, but the Expanse was the rest of humanity, but we had a crew to follow. Star Trek, we have a crew. And the reason why you have to do it this way is because we're trying to tell a story, so people, to get invested into their characters, have to know who these people are. We cannot have a crew plus 26,000 extras that each have a name and each have a tiny plot. Right? Soaps know this. They have so many people in a with loads of other people around them, walking past them day by day. The Matrix has loads and loads of people in it, but it has a very small number of what we'd call the crew, the people we know, the people we're interested in. The rest are just, garnish. Number three, no Earth. Right? We have to have no Earth. Why? Because Alien comes from this idea of claustrophobia, dirty space. It's like The Expanse. The Expanse showed you a tiny amount of Earth. And people might be saying, you're mentioning Expanse a lot. You just want Alien to be The Expanse. No, because these rules apply to Alien and Aliens. And any good bit, Alien 3 could have been good. But it's not the fact that the alien was really the problem. The alien's fine. Yes, it looks janky, but I mean, the plot of having an alien in the thing. The plot of having someone infected with maybe not a queen, but just an alien, and the alien leaves them alone, and using that to their advantage could be quite interesting. Having a crew. Well, it has that in Alien 3. It's just badly executed because they all look and sound the same. No Earth works for Alien 3. We've got to have this... We're isolated. We're stuck in the middle of nowhere. No one's coming to our aid. It's just us versus it, or us versus them. These are the things that give you the feel of an alien film. Number 4. Right? We have the stage. The stage itself is part of the character of Alien. It's, the colony. It's like this. Imagine if I said to you, you can go round an attraction that is a direct copy of the full colony. It has 148 rooms. In that battle-damaged state, you get to stick on some kit like a Marine and pretend you're a Marine going through a thing with someone talking in your ear. It'd sell out. People would go crazy. There's also another attraction, another location where you get to go on and be the crew of the Nostromo. You don't get to see an alien, you just got to pretend to be the crew of the Nostromo for a day. They would sell out. It's not, the cost of it versus how many people. You go for a day, just 8 of you. There'll be no profit in it, but still, you would sell out. Everyone would, there's one slot a day, just say if money wasn't an issue, one slot a day, you would fucking fill those 8 people up, no fucking problem, right? The world that is built is what helps, right? And that's the other thing. There's the physical stage itself, but there's no to little world building. I don't know what Earth looks like. I don't want to know what Gateway Station looks like. You see it and that's it, you move on. There's very little world building in Alien. If you think about Alien and Aliens and Alien 3, just say, if you think about those films, we don't learn the political situation of Earth. We don't learn much. What do we know from Alien and Aliens? We know there's a company called Weyland-Yutani. We know there's the Marines, the US Marines. We know there's oil refineries. We know there's a shake and bake colony. We know there's a colonial administration. We know that Ripley holds a license and someone obviously dishes out those licenses. We know that they manufacture droids and giant ships and colonies and refineries and APCs and dropships. We know that they make weapons. That's it. That's all we know. What else do we need to know? What else do we know? We don't know fuck all. What political structure does Ripley have? Does she have the vote? Who does she vote for? Is she straight? Are they all gay? Who knows? Who cares? We don't. There's very little world building. There's very little to it. It doesn't mean you can't write characters within those constraints. But we don't know. We know Earth exists. That's it. We don't need to know the rest of it. The mystery of Alien is built into the stages, right? We don't know the rest of the colony. We don't get to see all of the colony. Doesn't matter. We know it's there. The world building. We don't need to know all these political things. We don't need to know these backstories. We don't even know if Dallas was married, if any one of them were married. We didn't know that Ripley had a kid, and we didn't need that for Aliens. That's a bad mistake. I'm sorry, I know Alien Isolation, but it was a mistake. Basically, James Cameron was unsure of his audience, thinking, I have to put this scene in to let everyone know that Ripley had a daughter that died in her 50s in the future of cancer, which seems a bit retarded. Or 60s, which seems a bit retarded that she died of cancer at that age in the fucking future where it's 170 odd years, 150 years away from now. That seems stupid. She looks old as fuck. I know it's Sigourney Weaver's mum, but she looks old as fuck to say that she died at the age that she died at in the future. But he thought, I need to put it across that Ripley would care about this little girl. But it's kind of like a natural thing with, womanhood. They have that caring element. And if you watch it with the theatrical release, it's not lost on you. You don't sit there and go, why does Ripley care about Newt? This is ridiculous. Oh, she had a daughter that she's lost. Now that makes sense. James, have a bit more confidence in your audience. That was a bit shit. No one had to write in and see Sarah Connor raise John to realise that she loved her own son. No one needed to do that. No one needed to do that. And he didn't need to do that because his audience are smarter than a Mars bar. So, these are basically the things you need to make an Alien story, and this is all you need. All you need is this. You need the alien. Check. In Alien and Aliens. You need a crew. In Alien and Aliens. You need no Earth. In Alien, well, you do see Earth in Aliens. It's a picture. That's all we need. The stage is set. It either looks like the derelict ship or it looks like the inside of the Nostromo. Spot on. In Aliens, it looks like the Marine ship or it looks like the colony. Spot on. Little to no world building, no or little world building. Great, we've got them. We don't need all this stuff because one of the beauties of science fiction is that you're not given every single fucking detail. That it just leaves a bit up to the imagination. You know, where did the alien come from? Don't want to know. Is there an alien homeworld? I don't even want to know. What is the space jockey? Don't want to know. Don't want to know. The creepiness comes from the fact that you don't know. The moment you know, you go, oh, that's cool. Or you go, oh, that's shit. Or, oh, that's not what I would have done or I thought. Leave it ambiguous and it works. The moment you remove the ambiguity and you remove the mystery, and the mystery is what there's a lot of credit. There's a lot of theatrical credit that you get from the unknown, the not knowing. It works. Why is Alien a scary film? Why is Aliens have scary elements in it? Because you don't know what it's doing. Like I say, you don't know where it's fucking looking. Do you know how much that helps that you don't know where it's looking? It makes the alien different. And then what did they do? In this stupid shit thing, they put a fucking octopus with an eyeball on it. Where's it looking? Everywhere. Oh, well, you've really fucked that then, haven't you? Christ alive. So, this is... we're halfway through, I think it's 8 or 9 episodes. So, we're on episode 4. It's goofy as fuck. It's stupid. I'm going to make some predictions. Some loose predictions, and we'll see how I get on. The final video on this will be at the end of the end of the series, and I'll sum it up as a whole. One of the children is going to fight a xenomorph hand to hand, and it's going to win. That's retarded. That's retarded. That's going to happen. People have speculated that Marrow might have something to do with Ash. I do predict at the end of this series, you will see either the Nostromo or something to do with Ash. I think it'll finish with Ash being given his orders, i.e., this alien, we want this alien. Who's the closest to it? Oh, the Nostromo. Here, Ash, here are your orders. And the reason why I think that is because I think this has been placed in 2120, 2 years before, on purpose. Right? Even though Weyland Yutani have been to wherever they went to pick up this specimen, for some reason they can't do it again or whatever, or it's going to be a race with Prodigy, which is retarded, right? And the whole point of having the Neverland Island is so that they can blow it up at the end and say all of the information and data regarding the alien was lost. That's basically how this is all set up. And it's shit. It's a shit idea. Are you telling me that Prodigy are not going to send this information around their entire network? Just keep it on an island. Where they're flaunting androids off at some crash site like retards when they know it's probably crawling with Weyland Yutani agents and all this kind of shit. Marrow turns up, he's 65 years out the loop and just hacks into everything. Are you telling me that security stuff hasn't changed in 65 years? No, of course it hasn't. Marrow knows exactly what he's doing. He downloads stuff into his head with USB leads. It's the shittest, most stupid thing I've ever seen. You put these plasters on people's faces and it sinks through the skin. Wait there, how advanced is this? Bishop could do a cool thing with a knife really fast, and he missed. Fucking come on! Know what universe you're in. Care. Watch Alien more than once. Without reading your tablet, you dickhead. I could go on and on and on and on with how every single event that they do has a knock-on effect. It has a knock-on effect. Oh, look, smart gun, they shouldn't have them. Oh, look, pulse rifles, they shouldn't have them. Oh, look, the alien can cut all loads of people to death, but not that person. Oh, look, they make the hooks in the meat house out of a steel that doesn't get burnt by acid. But, Matt, the acid tongue doesn't burn in Resident Evil. In Alien Resurrection, she pulls out a tongue, it doesn't burn anyone. Yeah, that was also dumb. Why doesn't the alien have a supply of blood to its tongue? Well, maybe it's not a supply of blood. Maybe it's just a defense mechanism. So why didn't the alien use its tail and its massive amount of strength and its hands on this android? Why did it attack her but then didn't attack her? What did it do to her at the end? How did she manage to cut its head off with a fucking guillotine? When you see the shutters go down, there's a massive dent that happens up here. It's like fucking 10 foot in the air. Was that her, or was that her chucking the alien up there? I don't want to see, but we've got enough there to go, this is bullshit. Either it was throwing her around like it was nothing, or it died. Why do we need a human? So they've gone and got her brother, took his lung out, stolen his lung that's injured, put it in a glass jar, filled it with liquid, and put the little tadpole in it. Why? Why not use a sheep? Why did you cut the... How did you know that if you cut the tadpole out of the facehugger forcibly that the embryo didn't die? How do you know that the facehugger, when it implants someone, it doesn't release a lot of enzymes into the host so that your immune system doesn't attack the tadpole? Why? Why? Why are you just doing what you want, really? The eggs are sticky. Why are the eggs sticky? The eggs are slimy. Since when were the eggs slimy? Have you not watched the other films? Look at them. They're dry. Why? Since when are they... It's like they get laid and they're slimy because she's like shatting it out, but then that dries off and it goes into a hard resin like everything. Oh, not hard resin, but it dries out. The eggs are not wet. Have you not seen the other films? Why? Why does this all look this way? Why does it not open when it's near Marlowe for ages as he's chatting away when he's just stood there? Why do you have to get right close to him in some bits but not in other ones? Why does this all not make sense? Why is this stupid? Why are the aliens making noises ultrasonically to each other? Why can't we pick up the frequencies? I didn't think an alien could pick up a man and chuck him like this. People are like, oh, it was awesome that the alien sat in the statue and hid like that. If you didn't see that coming, I don't know why you didn't see that coming. You obviously haven't played Alien Isolation. In Alien Isolation, they have all these pipes and stuff to fool you that the alien looks like it. This gag has been done in Alien 3, where Ripley sees a pipe and she thinks it's the alien. Oh, look, Giga did a load of art with a load of pipes and stuff, and the alien has loads of pipes and stuff in it. Imagine you making a sculpture that the alien can hide in. It's lucky, really, that there was that sculpture in that block of flats that all those people didn't realise a fucking spaceship crashed into. The kinetic energy alone and its mass, stopping that, would pretty much annihilate half the city. Not this one, not with its engines on fucking half chat. Why? Why? Look at the rescue team that turn up. It's like 7 people. When his mates are walking around, have you noticed when the rescue crew, her brother and the rescue crew, the bird with the dreadlocks and the red hair, have you noticed when they're walking around, they're not saying, hello, hello, anyone, can you hear me? Search and rescue, is there anyone there? No, they walk around with a gun like this, creepy. Even though they've turned up to a crash. Why do they think it's got alien organisms in it? The moment they see an alien at all, they should go, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's quarantine the shit out of this place. Everyone leave hazmat suits on. They just touch stuff. Well, what do you mean it's going to give me space AIDS? That's fine. What are you fucking talking about? I'm like, are you lot actually this stupid? Are you actually stupid? Every character in this is retarded. The guy who plays a brother was great in Andor. In this, he's walking on like, I'm the weakest individual on fucking Earth. Honestly, if you slam that door fucking fast enough, the air pressure wave that comes off it will literally knock me over. He's retarded. He's retarded. Oh, you're my long-lost sister. No, you're not. I don't trust you. What about this? What about this? What about this? Oh, you are my sister. Wait there, I just saw an alien. Do you just want to tell everyone? He had a machine gun in his hand a second ago. A guy came and electrocuted it and dragged it off. And he doesn't tell anyone that he's just seen a 7-foot fucking weapon on legs. He just chuck it. That was the gayest shit I've ever seen. Look how no one got shot, though, innit? Look how when you get hit by a guy like that you don't drop the weapon, you keep hold of it and pull the trigger. Just lucky that happens. And it's like, oh, look, it's almost a pulse rifle noise. I recognise a pulse rifle when I see one. Fucking Christ. I'm trying to remember all the bullshit that happens. When is a machine not a machine? When it's a shit rip-off show that's trying to force aliens. Imagine if I said this to you. Hey, let's go back to 1978. Hey, Ridley, I've got an awesome idea. What's that? Can we put scenes of Snow White in, the 1978 or 1979, 1939, sorry, not science. 1939. Can we put Snow White, Disney Snow White, can we put Disney Snow White into this Alien franchise, into this film you're doing called Alien? You'd be like, why are you here? Who are you? Can we roll the story of Peter Pan? Why can't we call Ripley Wendy? Why can't we call the cat Tonto? Oh no, sorry, that's Wizard of Oz. There's an idea. Why don't we make Alien Wizard of Oz? Fuck it. The alien can be the Wicked Witch of the West. And Ripley can be Dorothy. The cat, Jonesy, can be Tonto. Dallas can be the straw man. No, Kane. Wait there, which one doesn't have a heart? That can be Kane because it burst through his heart. No, Tin Man. Ash could be Tin. Holy fuck, I've done it. Alien 1979 is about, it's basically, it's the Wizard of Oz. Right? Of Oz. Mother is Oz. Right? She's behind a curtain, but really she hasn't got any control over anything. She just likes to think she has, blowing up the shit when she's not meant to and all that kind of shite. The one that wants courage can be Lambert. Tin Man. The Tin Man is obviously Ash, or maybe it's Dallas. Who needs a heart? Parker needs a heart. Who fucking cares or knows? You see, that would be spastic. If you try to roll in, let's change Jonesy into a little Jack Russell. Let's start the beginning of the film in black and white, and when they get to the bone ship, they go, oh, and then it goes colour. Fucking Christ. That would be dumb. Maybe Alien is Beauty and the Beast, where the Beast is actually Ash. Ripley is the Beauty, and Gaston is the alien. Fucking, you see what I mean, right? It's just shit. It's one idea followed on by another one, it's one bad idea followed by another bad idea, followed by another bad idea, with a smearing of bad ideas on top of it, and then it's put into a cheese toasty of bad ideas, and then it's cooked for a bit. They spend $140 million, and then they shut it out. And I see so many people clapping. And these are the same retards that clapped and said, oh, Alien Romulus is what we needed. It's not Prometheus. It's not Covenant. I love Alien Romulus. And then I see the same people saying this. Well, Alien Earth's better than Romulus. Oh, you've gone off for Alien Romulus, have you? Because, weirdly enough, this is as equally as shit. It all doesn't make sense. And they're throwing shit in front of your face that's just nostalgia baiting. Oh, look, you recognise that. You'll like this. This is what Alien feels like. No, it's not. Think about all of the things that they copied from Alien to Aliens, excluding the alien, because obviously that's what it's about. Well, let's start off with the shuttle. That's copying. No, that's continuation. And literally the shuttle gets fucked off and disappeared right at the beginning. Oh, look! James Cameron put the harpoon in the beginning of the door. Stuck in the door, like when Ripley shot the alien out of the door. That's continuity. Well fucking done. Oh, look, a helmet's there from a spacesuit that used to be in a cupboard, but it's now sat on the top of that console. Continuity. Well done. Oh, look, she's got the cat. Oh, yes, continuity. Well done. Her name is Ripley. Well done. It's the same actress. Even more well done. They show Dallas and Burke and Parker and Lambert on the screen. You see, that's bait. No, dickhead, that's the inquest for why she fucking turned up without her ship and crew. Of course, it'd be weird if it wasn't there. Does she mention them again? she mentions Kane when she's describing to all of the Marines who think she's some little pussy whip woman who's scared shitless of the nasty little dinosaur that she once saw. What else did they copy? LV-426, but even the surface looks different. Now you can breathe on the twat, and they've got an explanation of why. Isn't that weird? The bone ship was badly done, and I'm glad that they didn't show that in the theatrical release. Just a quick add-on to the end of this. If you hate on what I'm saying, here's some things you can hate more. Everything after Alien is absolutely dog shit. People who say, "Oh, all you want is a repeat of those films," no. It's weird that you say that. My favourite film is Alien, and Aliens is a sequel to it, and it's not the same. But I like that as well. See, it's weird when people say stupid things. They'll say stuff like, "You only want it to be the same as the first two." But the first two aren't the same as each other, retard. I don't want Sigourney Weaver ever to go near Alien ever again. That story's done. I think Alien 3 was a fucking complete waste. And if you look at the Earth Hive, the book, that was meant to be a possible story they could have done. I thought that was shit as well. You need to leave Ripley, you need to leave Hicks. The story would have been better if Hicks, Ripley and Newt just disappeared. Whatever happened to them? We don't know. Oh, look, more mystery in the series of Aliens. Imagine that. Imagine there been more mystery. We will never, ever find out what happened to them. They fucked off on the Sulaco and we never saw them again. I like that. Let's have something else happen. Let's literally have something else happen. Maybe someone could go down. Maybe some fucking scavengers could go down to Hadley's Hope and see what they can recover after the explosion. It's quarantined off as a hazardous site. Weyland-Yutani, don't know what happened. Something else blew up. It seems like it's a mystery. And now all of a sudden Weyland-Yutani are going, what is happening here? Because she said this thing happened donkeys years ago. Then we send a crew with Marines down there. Well, no, the Marines turn up and they get involved. And then there's a disaster. The place blows up. The Sulaco goes missing. Or maybe the Sulaco comes back. Maybe Ripley and Newt and Hicks disappeared before they got back to Earth. The ship arrived with no one on it. No one knows what the fuck has gone on. The computers were scrapped. Someone's been in there with a hammer and fucked it all up. Weyland-Yutani starts saying it's espionage and, someone's... No, because it's a military vessel. The military vessel start blaming Weyland-Yutani, saying, what the fucking hell happened with your place? Because you had this atmosphere processor in this colony, and we sent all these Marines. The ship comes back with no fucker on it, and obviously someone's been there. So the Marine, the lack of work... Basically, you could just have... I don't know... You could go down, and what you do is you crunch out these stories and see if they make sense. And if you can make a low, it's not world-ending, it's not world-shattering, it's not the Earth, it's just a crew of people. The people are sent there like Lewis and Clark. You could send the crew from fucking Event Horizon kind of thing to just go and investigate what happened. Insurance claim, make it somewhat boring at first. This insurance claim team have to go down and assess what happened for the government to find out what Weyland were up to, what the fuck has gone on. And then they get attacked, and then they do this, and then they get that, and then you get a renegade person who's trying to fucking espionage something, blah, blah, blah. You could do something with a small crew and it just ripping through them. And then you go, but wait there, we can't just do alien crew ripping through them die. The moment you can't do that is the moment you go, it's time to put Alien to bed. It's a lovely run. It did what it did. And then we've got 6 films out of it that were all good. That's what we should have done. Or 5 films that were all good. Different elements, different ideas. And then we put it to bed. That's it. You know what I mean? They finally lose all of the specimens. And the alien just disappears into the never never. Wonderful. We got rid of it. That's it. The alien has gone. End of story. Like Terminator. You should have had Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, and they stopped Judgment Day. They stopped it all. They stopped everything from happening. And yippee-ki-yay, it's all over. End Terminator after the 2 films like James Cameron wanted to do. Nice story. Go and make something else up. And if people say you can't make shit up, oh yes you can. Ever since Alien came out, or Terminator, whatever, people have made new stories and they've become really popular and they've done their thing and they've moved on. Including science fiction. Science fiction should be one of the easiest ones to do because you've got a nice tight rule set, which is the science bit, and then the fiction, whatever you can think within science. It's fucking literally universal. It's literally the cosmos. It's endless. Do what you fucking want. You know, hope that makes sense. I'm rambling now, and I'll see you in a bit.